Incoming right there.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tactical Tuesday here on TR Live. You know, this is our sister channel for Tactical Rifleman. I got a great show for you guys tonight. I have been out cutting firewood. We had a bunch of storms come through. You guys might have seen it on the news. Bunch of storms come through, dropped a few trees. So anyways, it's been a while. They've been sitting. Why? Because, well, I've got a bum knee. But also I'm waiting for Randy Rawhide Worse to get back from Montana, where he's been hanging out. We got an echo. Okay, all right, hold on. I'm working here, guys. Let me see if I can fix your echo. How about... All right, hold on. They're saying I got an echo.
Incoming right there.
We got here. How's the echo now? Is it still echoing?
You've gone dead. You've cut the live stream.
Yeah. No, I didn't kill it. I didn't kill it. Just for a second. How
Okay,
about?
I can't hear it. Anything that's a black screen.
All right, but what about now? Still echoing?
No, nothing. I've got a black screen.
Yeah, you'll get it back in a second. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Still echoing?
Still echoing. Yeah.
Still echoing. All right. I'm trying, people. I am trying.
All right, I think we got it now. Talk again.
How about now, guys? Still echoes still? It's better though. Two mics on. Yeah, but I don't know which two mics are on. Fuck. How about now? Can you guys hear me now at all? Can you hear me now at all?
No, still echo.
How about now? I gotta wait for it to... Can you guys hear me at all? Can you hear me at all?
We can hear you. It's just echoing. It's not. I mean, we can put up with it.
No, you can't put up with it.
That's better. You got it. You got it. You got it.
Better. Okay. Better now. Okay. Yeah, my son's got some other mic running. All right, I'm sorry, guys. You know, my job is to shoot guns. All right. My son still does not have this. He still doesn't have this stuff under control yet. But some weeks it works, some weeks it doesn't. All right, so we're good. My wife just texted me. Sounds good to me. Okay. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. We got major echo. All right. All right, so we're good. I appreciate it. Welcome back to Tactical Rifleman. What I was saying is I've been out running a chainsaw all day long. Had my son running a chainsaw. Had Randy Worse running a chainsaw, which means Randy Rawhide Worse is back from Montana. He's been out there all summer working with the Gold Star kids. And he is now back. He's going to be on the live stream here tonight. Emery Morgenstern came to help out also, but he fell asleep over at the shed. So we'll see whether Emery shows up or not. No big deal. All right, I've already had a couple questions show up, but before I mention the questions, how about the sponsor again? Right, for this whole month, I've got Bucked Up sponsoring. All right, Bucked Up. Where do you find them? buckedup.com. All right, but they make like pre-workout stuff, and they make out don't take this stuff if you're not getting ready to work out. They've got their recovery stuff. Let's say you need your 5-arrow energy. This is what Emery needs right now is buckshot. But anyways, they've got a bunch of stuff going on at their websites right now, and I'm not seeing any sales right now, but that doesn't mean they don't have something going on. So, but anyways, you go to the website, you check it out. One thing I will say is the Rut. That's that testosterone booster for those of you guys that don't have enough testosterone. Trust me, I've got plenty of testosterone to share with everybody, but there's only one person that's going to get it. That's my blushing bride. They just had a big restock of what's called the Mother Bucker. You understand these guys are geared towards hunting. So I got Randy Worst just came in. He's trying to figure out how to sit on this chair over here. Dude, that's an old broken fifth group chair. Okay. That's as good as it gets.
Okay.
It's as good as it gets. Good as it gets. How you doing, Randy?
Good.
Let me introduce you guys to Randy Rawhide West from Worst Case Scenario Survival School. Randy, thanks for coming on tonight. All right. I was just talking about our sponsor, Bucked Up.
Wow.
I got a bunch of good stuff. Again, guys, you want to check out our sponsor, buckedup.com. I want to thank them for supporting our live stream, sponsoring us. How do you guys say thank you? Just go to buckedup.com. Buckedup.com. Send them a note saying, hey, thanks for supporting Tactical Rifleman. Good stuff. And if you want to get hooked up, they've got good stuff. Pre-workout, post-workout recovery stuff. They've got energy drinks if you don't want to do monsters. Monsters, the doctors say monsters are bad for your heart. Who saw that coming? I used to watch Tom Heckens in Fallujah. I think the limit's like 1.5 per day. And he would drink 3 before lunch. And his eyes would like actually be like sticking out of his skull. It's hilarious. You can't. It's just some guys can't be talked to. They just can't be. So how you doing, Randy? How was your trip, brother?
It was good. I can't complain. It's
They don't know though. Where have you been, guys? He's literally still covered with sawdust. Damn, boy. At least I changed shirts.
No, so I didn't bring another shirt. Sorry about that, guys. Up to Montana. I've been doing it for 11 years. It's called the Station Foundation. It's for special ops communities. It's
for the kids.
For the kids. They have. I do. One in June is for it's called Restore. Damn, I remembered it.
You remembered it this time.
Restore is for the active duty fathers and their children. Can be daughters or sons. I think they got to be 8 years old minimum. I don't think there's a max age. And then in the middle of that, there is the Gold Star. And then at the end is another Restore. Excellent program. It's a little piece of heaven up there. It's beautiful, just indescribably beautiful, and it helps restore the soul. It's a good program.
Note from you guys: Randy looks good. Can't believe he's 70, guys. He's not 70 on the inside. He's really not. I just watched this guy run a chainsaw all day long. Literally, me and my son were like. We're like having to go up and tap him on the shoulder and tell him, hey, Randy, you need to take a break. This boy's a machine right here.
You wouldn't let me finish. I had what was left of my chainsaw, one more tank full. My dad never would have let
That's
us
how he takes a break. Every time the chainsaw runs out of gas, so every hour, basically. Freaking crazy. We got a lot done though. We got a lot done. Some of these rounds of wood are so big. Emery and my son together couldn't move them, so I have had the Bobcat out there. We take the bucket with the Bobcat, and it's brutal day, but we got a lot done. We got a lot. I appreciate you coming out.
On that thing. He brings his Bobcat out. I'm running the chainsaw. Next thing I know, I thought he brought it out to move the logs, because these are huge. I can't cut through. I have to cut one cut on one side, one cut on the other side to cut through the size of these things, right? No, Carl by himself, because Emery hasn't showed up yet, and his son's running on the smaller branches. I've got him running my small chainsaw. He's taking these big things that are you can't see the 3.5
gotta-
feet across.
Yeah.
And he's pushing him with his bad leg. He's killing him with his leg. It's swollen. He's limping on it.
I didn't have anybody to help me, man. You were busy.
I'm running a chance, and I said I was seeing him push him onto the bobcat. So
That's probably why my leg hurt so bad. Because you understand, you couldn't get the bucket underneath him because I didn't want to tear up the grass. So I'd sit the bucket, and then I'd have to roll these logs. And my knee is screaming at me right now. Guys, I got a big old ice pack underneath my pants and Velcroed on. Yeah, I'm sucking pretty good. All right, we've had a couple questions come in already. First question right off the bat. Actually, one of our moderators. Last week, it came up, somebody was asking about the Steyr AUG. And what I told them... And I just made a random comment that I wished I liked the Steyr AUG. It came out in the 80s, and I wished that back in the 80s, while we were a peacetime military, that we had switched to the AUG, a bullpup, and gotten away from the M16. And that caught everybody off guard because everybody knows I run an AR, I run an AR-10, whatever. So anyways, they want me to elaborate a little bit more. What I'm talking about that, guys, is everybody wants shorter guns for CQB. They want shorter guns so you can put a suppressor on it. Everybody wants shorter guns. We all agree on that. We want shorter guns. The problem with shorter guns is if you start cutting inches off of the barrel, now you're losing muzzle velocity, which equates to a slower bullet. And the bullet starts slowing down as soon as it leaves the barrel. If you don't believe me, go look at ballistic data. An example, my Barrett 50 cal, all right, slows down 300 feet per second before it gets to 200, right at 201 meters. I've already lost 300 feet per second with my Barrett 50 cal, and that's a monster bullet, right? So I'm just using that as an example. And I understand you guys don't live and breathe ballistics like we do. All right, or like I do, tactical rifleman, not tactical pistolero, not tactical shotgun guy, tactical rifleman. All right, so I'm not tooting my horn, guys. I'm just saying I have an opinion that I believe I can back up. So you need a longer barrel on the modern battlefield because you want to be able to keep those bad guys in a conventional war. You want to keep them 400 or 500 meters away, because if all they've got are AKs, they can't touch me 400 or 500 meters. All right. I want to engage them at 400, even in the dark. We got great night sights now. Let me engage them at 400. They'll slowly get closer to 300, and by then we should have already won. All right. So anyways, that's the distance I want them at, 400. But we still want our shorter guns. Now, that's the advantage of the bullpup. When the Steyr AUG came out back in the 80s, I had never even seen a bullpup before. And I did my homework. I did my homework on this thing. And you could swap from left-hand eject to right-hand eject very easily in case you had left-handed guys in your unit. It had a back-in-the-day no-shit optic built into the carrying handle. Remember, this was the 80s. We didn't start getting EOTechs and aim points until the early 90s, mid-90s, all right? So this was a big deal. And the only downside was everybody's like, well, I'm so used to, I have a jam, tap, rack. I need to change magazines, dump the mag, put the mag in front of my strong hand, control hand, and then thumb comes up, hits my bolt release, and I'm back in the fight. A bullpup, that magazine is behind your hand. You understand, time-wise to go here, time-wise to go here, it's the exact same distance. It's actually a couple inches closer, by the way, if you break it up into your workspace. All right. So where's the downside? The downside is your muscle memory is screwed up. And that's why I say back in the 80s, we were a peacetime army. We were not at war with anybody. And that was the perfect time to ask people to change muscle memory. And and we've done it with so many other things, guys. We really have. Switching from the M113s to the Bradleys, all right? Switching from Humvees to Flyers. Your muscle memory changes. I understand why they didn't want to do it during the global war on terror. I got that. We're peacetime army again. So anyways, of all the bullpups, and now you've got the Tavor, you've got you got a couple other bullpup abominations out there. I mean, that totally suck. But the Steyr AUG is, they put a lot of work into it. And now it's a flat top version, so you can run any optics you want. You can get different barrel lengths. And yeah, dude, I've had no less than, I won't exaggerate, no less than 10, 12 people in the last 7 days have sent me links to different websites that have got Steyr AUGs for sale. And guys, and I appreciate, if you're one of the guys that did your homework and you found me a Steyr AUG for sale, I appreciate it, guys. And trust me, I want to write that check for $2,000, $1,400, $1,700. I want to, but I need new axles for my Jeep. And you understand, 2 new axles, heavy duty axles to go with the 500 horsepower motor. And now I've got to run 8 lug rims. That means 5 new rims. You start doing all this. I'm looking $25K. So my wife is like, yeah, that's birthday, that's Christmas, and that's birthday, and that's Christmas next year also. Okay, that's fair. So that's what I'm saving for. I've got my envelope, Jeep parts, and I don't get tips very often, but when I do, they go in the Jeep parts envelope. And that's what I'm saving for. So for me to say to my wife, hey, you know, honey, I know I'm saving $25K for Jeep axles, but I'm going to spend $2K on a rifle that I don't need. You understand how that's just not going to go over good. And so I appreciate you guys doing your homework, but we'll be fine. What's your opinion on a bullpup, Randy?
Well, I shot him with a Brits. There is only one thing I didn't like, but they changed it. You just said they make a flat top. On the original ones that I shot in 2003, the optic, there was no adjustment.
Yeah.
You saw where it shot, and you made your conscious adjustments on where you put the sight.
Kentucky windage, yeah.
Yeah, because you couldn't change it. That's the only thing. But now they make the flat top. And yeah, it's got the longer barrel, but it's tucked back in.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it still had the ambidextrous safeties, and the safety is the same place as ours, right?
Pretty close. One thing that is cool is there's no selector lever per se. The trigger, in other words, from semi-auto to full auto. Semi-auto, you pull it back and it just goes off. If you want to go full auto, you just pull it back even further and it goes straight to full auto. You don't have to worry about reaching a selector lever, which, okay, that's not how I would have designed it, but that's how they did it. All right, at another one coming here, Randy. This one is 10 Hong Kong dollars. Hey, Carl, it's Peter. I like your FMG 762 video. Peter, I appreciate that. I really do. All right. Let's do another one here. All right.
We're talking to Star, I was looking up. Good for inside the vehicles. Excellent for, because in Special Forces, everybody shoots when you're in the vehicle when you get hit. And airborne operations, that would have been phenomenal for airborne operations. So it has a lot of good benefits, but the new version with the flap tops where you can
different optics,
get the optics and lights and stuff on.
Randy just told me his favorite he's trying to get his hands on is the Primary Arms 3X micro prism. Kind of like an ACOG. Randy used to be an ACOG guy. I got him to switch over to these micro prisms because our eyes are old now. We're not young 21-year-old Marines, and it allows you to focus the ocular lens to your eyesight, and it is a big step. It really is. Mr. Ferrari, was Randy an old U.S. Air Force SEER instructor? I just cross-trained in the SEER in the Air Force this year. heading to Moody Air Force Base in a month. No, actually, Randy is a Green Beret, but when U.S. SOCOM rewrote their SEER manual, Randy Worst is the guy that, no shit, Chief Worst is the guy that was responsible for rewriting the survival portion of that manual, right? Am I correct saying that? So when you say Randy wrote the book on survival, Randy literally wrote the book on survival. So anyways, it is excellent question. Excellent question. I got a bunch that come in here. Miss Freud back again. Do you recommend collecting or just specializing in a single pistol rifle? I can do both financially, but find it hard to keep guns I don't have a use for or shoot regularly. You guys have heard me say it before. I don't fear the guy that owns 200 guns. I fear the guy that owns one gun and a spare, but trains with it. And what I mean by that is, literally, I have had rich guys show up that own one of everything, and they're usually the ones that have the accidental discharges showing off. I want you to get one rifle, master it. It can be an AR, it can be an AR-10, it can be a Steyr AUG, I don't care. It can be AK. One rifle, master. I want you to have a spare, the exact same thing, and preferably I want you to build the second one, because that way you learn all the parts, so that if you have a malfunction with that AR, let's say, even in the dark, in the snow, whatever, while you're working through that malfunction, you can mentally visualize what's happening inside the gun, because you've literally built that gun, or the second one, right? And then you need a sidearm in case your rifle shits the bed. You need to be able to transition straight to that pistol. Now, and right, so I own a rifle and a spare. I own a pistol and a spare. Now, I know you all are going to say, Carl, we know for a fact you own 60, maybe 200 guns. But understand, I get guns to do videos on. I get guns because when I teach classes on different things, if it's a class on AKs, you understand I've got to show up with an AK. Right? It's whatever my clients want the class on. So that's just how that stuff works. So
you gonna make a comment on that? In Africa, I was trained as a sniper before I even came in the military. Then I've been through several sniper schools. My dad trained me how to shoot. I can shoot a long gun, believe me. And I ran into an African boy, had a M21, no scope, open sights, and no magazines. And that kid almost could shoot bullet for bullet for me. We're going out to 800 meters. That's a perfect example of one gun mastering it. The guy was unbelievably awesome with it. When we left, I gave him 4 of my M21 magazines.
Nice.
Yeah, because all he had was a one-shot rep. But dude, if you were in front of him, you were 800 meters or less, he owned you.
He was going to wear you out. Dale McKinney. Is the pistol gun runner class still on for this weekend? Yes. What is the name of the range? I would like to secure lodging close by. I have not received any information and just wanted to make sure. Dale McKinney. Dale McKinney, gun runner. Dale, you have not received any information yet. All right, hey Dale, I'm sorry, brother. I just emailed all the information out to the guys coming in September, and I realized, because you understand this is Emery's class. It is still on. Emery Morgenstern is going to be your lead instructor. It's going to be at the Montgomery County Shooting Complex, MSU. What is it? Shoot Tennessee.
Yes.
The website.
I believe so.
ShootTennessee.com, Montgomery County Shooting Complex. It is just south of the river in Clarksville. We don't have recommended lodging. As far as hotels, there's a bunch of hotels near Exit 8. There's a bunch of hotels near Exit 4. There's a bunch of hotels down right near the Riverwalk. There's all kinds of hotels around there. Pick whatever flavor you like. And but we don't recommend hotels there because it's an hour from my house. So my instructors drive home at night. It's 15 minutes from Randy's house. So Randy drives home at night. All right, good. Dale, I apologize if you've not received an email yet. I want to blame Randy. I can't. I mean, I want to blame Emery. I can't do that. My fault. I apologize. That is 100% on me. All right. Damn, I apologize for that, dude. I really do. All right, we are caught up on questions, which is good because I got a ton of stuff that I need to go over real quick. For example, Dale was just talking about gun runner pistol. Guys, that is this weekend, and the class is only half full. All right, so if you are, like, it's August, man, I got this time off. I really wish I had something to do this weekend. Maybe I'll go fishing. Maybe I'll go kayaking. I really want to go shooting this weekend, but all my buddies are busy. I've got something for you. Go to tacticalrifleman.com and you can sign up for Gun Runner Pistol. Hands down, the best pistol class you'll take. It will take a new shooter, make them a good shooter. It will take a IPSC Grand Master and make him a better pistol shooter. It really will. It's not tactical at all, but it all applies to tactical shooting. It all applies to combat shooting. It's not about competition shooting at all. It is all about you mastering the pistol. And what I mean by that is you go to a lot of courses like Combat Pistol 101. I'm giving you all the drills, but I don't have time for you to build the muscle memory. So, it's like, all right, take it, learn it, write it down, and then when you go home, you do those 3,000 to 5,000 repetitions to get to master the drill. I don't have time. I've got too much stuff to teach you guys. Gun Runner Pistol slows it down. The first day is getting you all the drills, and then the second day is you mastering each one of the teaching points. It's a great course. It's put together by a couple really, really great instructors, and it was a great course. That is this weekend coming up. I know it's short notice, and matter of fact, I'm gonna put it on sale. I'm gonna do it tonight. 20% off. You guys deserve that, don't you? 20% off Gun Runner Pistol. I'm gonna do it 20% off. 20. All right, save you gas money. All right. After that, that's our last class for the month. Then, because you understand, we're halfway through August already. Month of September. Emery's got a Gun Runner Carbine course, 2-day course in September. And I forgot what weekend that is. And then the very next week, I've got 5 days straight. Okay, now, you don't have to take all 5 days. I'm just saying I'm going to be there with Randy, with Warwick Marsh, with Emery. We've got Combat Pistol 101, Combat Pistol Carbine, and Advanced Combat Pistol Carbine. Back to back. There is a night shoot in Pistol Carbine. There's a night shoot in the first day of Advanced Pistol Carbine. So 2 night shoots. It's a great time. It's some of my favorite classes to teach, and it's going to be a good time. It's going to suck me being on my knee for 5 days. If you guys are new here, haven't been here in a while, I just did knee surgery in June, late June, full knee replacement, and I was hoping I'd be back up riding my mountain bike by now, and I'm so not. I've gotten out of my bike one time, and the doctors would be pissed if I did that. They'd really be pissed if they saw me on the rolling logs onto the Bobcat today. Oh, look what woke up. Emery Morgenstern.
Now, I talked to Carl before he started this. I said, I can't wake him up. He told me to wake him up and be here. I said I couldn't do it. So you got an extra hour.
Another hour?
Yeah, because you were
out,
asleep at 6:30.
That's good stuff right there.
So,
that is real good stuff.
I'm gonna let him get in there. One of the things
You
gotta
taking
do,
off?
No, I'm not taking off. But you need
That's
to
why I
make me
got
a
3
cup
chairs.
of that coffee that you said, and Emery can.
You need a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
All right, let's him sit for a minute. All right, you go sit right there. You pull security. And guys, Randy Rawhide Worst, the legend. And come on, you big Yahoo. You.
All right. All right. Good morning.
Guys, we got Emery here. I know everybody's wondering what I'm drinking. You guys know we make alcohol on the hill. Not moonshine. That would be wrong.
Water.
We make Dead Red. This is Dead Red. I'm not lying. This is actually the latest batch, June 2023.
It actually tastes like wine.
That is one of the bottles that I'm giving away at our Patreon course in October. All right, so we're not getting into this one tonight. We're not getting into it.
Okay.
That said, Addie, my brother-in-law's better half next door, she makes this is Viking honey mead. No joke. Why? Because I've got 4 beehives here on the hill, and this stuff is awesome. Can you guys smell that? Yeah, smell that shit. We got smell-o-vision. You guys, if you got smell-o-vision turned on button, it's actually
this stuff is
the,
awesome.
the button's actually over here. It's you got to hit the smell-o-vision button. Smell-o-vision. Can you smell that? All right. Anyway, I brought you a shot glass because you're not putting you're not putting those dick skinners on this.
Yeah, well, that's also why I polished off a bottle of that earlier today.
Yeah, that's why he fell asleep already.
Yeah, maybe.
One for you.
Thank you, sir.
And
Here.
I've got I'm drinking from the skull of my enemies. All right. So guys, I need new questions. I need new questions for Emery now, not for Randy. All right. I see I had
one for
another
Randy
one pop
here.
up. I was just talking about, I'm going to go online tonight and I'm going to put Gunrunner Pistol at 20% off. Hopefully we'll
Okay.
get you a couple more slots filled. We just had a couple more come in.
Let's see.
This one is from Annalise and Kyle. They threw down
Hey.
10 American dollars. Randy, I backcountry camp in the winter and am trying to slim down my pack. Have you ever used a Morris Super Shelter? If so, do they do good in keeping you warm? Any other type you'd recommend? Morris Super Shelter.
That I haven't seen. I use a simple, well, it's not simple, it's expensive, a Gore-Tex 10x10, and that's what I sleep in.
A Gore-Tex 10x10 tent?
No.
It's Gore-Tex sheet.
Sheet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I use a Gore-Tex sleeping bag cover in case it
Yeah.
rains and
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
But I would advise you, because of the animals and stuff, I advise you to have a tent. If his is a tent, I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah. Now it says shelter. Morris Super Shelter.
Okay.
Just say you're not familiar with it, dude.
If you're in the area I just came from, or the area that I grew up in Wyoming, there are more grizzly bears per capita than anywhere in the United States. I do not recommend.
You understand Kyle lives in Kentucky. He's about 2 hours east of here. So he might have a
Also-
couple black bears, but probably not grizzlies.
Also,
Okay.
I'm not sure a fully enclosed tent would stop there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure if he wants in.
It will not.
That's some of that Harry Potter shit right there, you know. Little bitty tent, but you get on the inside and it's like a 12-bedroom castle.
Or they might. Randy runs into Cocaine Bear on occasion. He's been known.
The advantage
Oh,
of the
shit.
shelter is he can have his fire and keep him warm.
Yep.
That's why I
Yeah.
do it. Maybe in Kentucky he can find a rock. In Tennessee we can't
That-
find rocks. I can
Well,
find
let me-
It's rumor, but I'm pretty sure there are rocks in Kentucky.
Let me settle this a second. Let me settle this, because shelters are nice, but what you guys have to understand is, especially if you're in the South, you want a tent if you can carry it, right?
Yeah.
A shelter's only good if you want to really be minimal, but if you want to keep ticks and mosquitoes off you and chiggers and all that, you want a tent.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
That's why I mentioned the Gore-Tex cover. That's why I run it even in the summertime. I won't bring a sleeping bag in the summer, but I will bring a Gore-Tex cover and my whoopee.
Like a bivvy.
Yeah. And that's so if it all of a sudden rains cats and dogs, it keeps the water off of me. But ticks and mosquitoes will get through, and chiggers, they will get through a whoopee. They will not get through a Gore-Tex cover. All right. All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to hand the phone off to... No, hold on. I got another one right here.
Another one.
This is from Philip Wilson. Question: the bullpups have a bad reputation regarding trigger pulls. Comments, input. I agree, and the reason for that is because you've got a long trigger bar, right? That's just part of it. But you could make a jeweled, sexy trigger bar, just like people make better triggers for bolt action rifles and stuff like. You understand? I don't need a half-pound competition trigger in a combat carbine with a 16-inch barrel. I don't. I need a 16-inch barrel so I can hit targets at 400 meters. All right. If you've ever shot the standard trigger in an M16 or an M4, I'm here to tell you they are some of the worst triggers on the planet. There's not a civilian out there that runs a military trigger in their ARs. Definitely not anybody that shoots 3-gun. And the reason is because you can get a great AR trigger that just drops in for $100. So nobody runs a mill trigger. They don't. But the reality is mill triggers they're crap. They're 7 pounds. They got terrible break. It's like breaking a twig over your arm. I want a glass rod that breaks. So I drop in my own triggers. I would do the same to a bullpup. Now, mind you, my whole time in the military, I did not ever change and run aftermarket triggers in any of my guns. My M24 sniper rifle ran the competition trigger that it came with. It was micro adjustable from 3 pounds up to, I think, 5 or 7. I ran it to 3. As a matter of fact, I dialed it down till the Allen head actually came out of the gun and I threw it away. All right, that was as light as it would go. My M16s, the trigger was always good enough. My SR25 came with a 2-stage trigger that was okay. You get used to whatever trigger it is. But yeah, the guys that bitch about the trigger on a bullpup, the Tavor, the bunch of the other ones, I got it. But understand that is the stock trigger. Right, you can make better triggers for.
Well, and remind everybody the downsides to a fancy trigger. There's a reason those are not combat triggers.
Yeah,
and that's because they're flippin' dangerous, right? I mean, there's so many cases where you applied a little more pressure and then decided, you know what, this is not the shot I'm taking right now. You know, you don't want something that breaks so gentle and doesn't have any take up or anything. Yep. Not that AR triggers have take up. But.
Leaf LeBlanc just threw down $5 just for shits and giggles, just to say hi. Leaf, Rangers lead the way. Thank you very much. Here's what we're going to do, guys. We have Gunrunner Pistol coming up this weekend. But then I want to say it's like the second or third week in September. Emery has Gunrunner Carbine. I'm going to go make Randy a cup of coffee. You want one?
Just Randy?
That's why I'm asking. Do you want one?
I would love one. Thank you.
Okay, so while I go make coffee for the big Yahoo and Emery Morgenstern, international man of mystery, all right, he's going to tell them about the classes, and then
let's do it. Let's do it. Let's. This is us playing polio.
Come on, Randy. Come on.
All right. All right. Randy, you're leaving it too?
I adjusted all my triggers except for my M16. I didn't do what he did. All mine were perfect.
Best human being on the planet. Best human being on the planet. Well, let's see. Gunrunner. So, I think most of you guys have probably heard our little spiel on why we came up with the class gun runner. The whole idea is you go to a class normally, you learn a bunch of shit, you go home and you go, am I a better shooter? Meh. I don't know, because now I got to start trying to implement the things I learned, but am I doing it correctly at home and all that? So our whole idea is to come up with a series of classes where we give you enough reps. We can't give you 3,000 to 5,000 repetitions of every single drill, but we go through a lot of stuff and we get you a lot of reps so that you're actually going home with something in your hand, right? You're going home going, oh my God, I actually improved. I get it. And now when I go to the range and I go keep training or do my dry fire or whatever, I know what correct is. I have enough reps to not essentially create training scars and train incorrectly from there. So that's the idea. A lot of reps. We get a lot deeper into all the little technical stuff than we do on our regular classes. So I don't know Carl's code. Let's try that. Nope, that's not the code. Carl got a message from Susan. Susan, you can send it to me for now. Let's see. I see a question for me. Do I like the Tavor 7? Yes and no. I think for its application, I think the Tavor is actually quite a good gun. I don't own one, and the reason I don't own one is because they're too much money. And IWI has never had an interest in letting me test some of their stuff. So that's really the only reason. I think it's a good gun. I think it gets poo-pooed by people because it is different and it's not what they're used to. And so naturally, people are going to shit on it. But really, it's a good gun. It's a good gun if you get used to it. There are some things earlier on when they were testing it in the military, right? They did test batches, gave it to some infantry guys, and then made little improvements along the way. So earlier on, it had a lot of problems. But that platform's been out for quite some time, and they've worked out a lot of the bugs, and I think it's a very good gun now. So let's see. I'm trying to look for questions. It's so small. I think I'm getting old. I can't even find a mouse. Here we go. This looks like a mouse. Is that the right one? There we go. All right. Well, that looks like it. So, what are we talking about? Feed me stuff, guys. I don't do live streams, so you gotta help me out here a little bit. If you've got any questions, blah blah blah. All right. Well, so let's see. What other stuff? We have. What else do we have coming up? We had a high risk travel class a couple weeks ago, which went well. I think it's not one of our sexy classes, and we have a couple things in there that are really fun. But more and more every time we run it, I realize, we're kind of changing some things in it as we go. We figure out, for this kind of group, this is more important or that's more important. But it's amazing to see how, we don't know how to travel, generally, people. And, there's Susan. And that's something I think that people should take more seriously, is understanding my footprint when I travel, understanding what I project, what I look like. Am I making myself a target without being aware of it? So those are things we discussed there. Let's see. How's the new truck doing? Donut. Oh, Donut. The new truck is awesome. I just recently, I haven't had it exactly a year. And I've just hit 30,000 miles. So for those of you guys who are helping out, I so appreciate you guys, because we go all over the country in it. And that thing's awesome. It's, I guess this is where I'll let this out. She's got a name now. Her name is Salem, like the witch trials, because I don't know, she's black and sleek and beautiful, and we came up with Salem, and I liked it. So thanks, Donut. Let's see. Without further ado, Imri, do you have any new knife designs? Ooh, that's a fun one. So let's see. The next batch of sappers is coming out this month, I believe, from TKL Knives. After that, we have a few designs that we've been kind of talking about doing. And I think what Tim wants to go with next is going to be I have a EDC Warncliffe. So it's a Warncliffe where the cutting edge is very flat and then the spine is ground down to the tip. So the tip is down, at the thin part of the blade, making it a very, very good fighting knife for both stabbing and slashing. We may do a ringed version, we may not, and I think that's probably going to be the next version. We also have another thing coming out soon before that, but I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk about it yet, but I'll tell you this. It is a tactical screwdriver. So, yeah, you heard me. A tactical screwdriver. Our idea is, I don't know if you guys have seen, we did some videos on machine guns recently. And I did a video on how to shoot a 240. Just little tips on how to, body position, that kind of stuff. And I mentioned in there one of the most important tools that a machine gunner can have, that must have, is a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver. And we were hanging out with the guys from Daycraft Systems, who made all those awesome guns, and we came up with this idea. So that should be coming along pretty well. Let's see, more questions. Here's another one. Do you carry pepper spray? Why or why not? I don't carry pepper spray because I don't feel like I need yet another tool on me. I think pepper spray is good. I would assume you're what is it? Zippor 88. I believe I'm pronouncing your God-given name correctly. I believe you probably are asking because you saw our video where I got sprayed in the face and then had to do shooting drills. That was my first time getting pepper sprayed. I've done CS gas in the military, but never pepper spray. Pepper spray definitely sucks. And it's got limitations, right? First and foremost, air moves. And understand that when you're deploying that pepper spray, there's a pretty high likelihood you're going to be eating some of that. So just be prepared for that. If you're in an enclosed space, if you pepper spray somebody inside of a car, you're going to not have a great day either. So those are things that you have to consider. That's that. I'm not against it, but it can be good option. Let's see, next one from Rocketman. Oh, now they're coming in. So give me a second. Give me a second here.
Guys, I made Emery a cup of coffee.
It's Scooby-Doo.
I'm here for you, brother.
I love
it.
it.
For you.
I love it.
I got Randy one. This cup's a little cooler than yours.
Oh, God, I love that coffee.
That's not bad, is it? That's not bad.
All right.
Made phenomenal coffee.
So, how is Imri's dog doing? Haven't seen him in a while. Rocketman 1975. Dude, Biscuit is his name. Bubba. Bubba is awesome. His full name is Meat Biscuit, and that's a long and boring story. I won't tell it here, but there's a story to it. His full name is Meat Biscuit, and he's awesome. I used to bring him to classes on occasion. Now I kind of don't because it's always far away and all that. Because Carl said no. No, because it's always far away, and he's a house dog, so I can't like leave him in the truck. I can't, he won't just go be outside all day.
House dog.
Oh yeah, he's a baby. He's a baby. Hurricane Recommendations for places to visit while in Israel. Ooh, good one. Good one. You know, everybody knows the Old City and all that.
Old City.
And the Old City is, it is what it is. It's a must-see.
Mount.
It's a must-see. Yep,
Yeah.
must-see. You got to go to the Old City. Other cool places, let me tell you this. My favorite place in the whole country is up in the Galilee on the land where the ranch is that I used to live on. There are some magical places there. You can't go visit that ranch, but what I would say is I would go up to the Golan Heights. That's the number one. You go up to the Golan Heights. First of all, there's a little bit of altitude, and that makes a difference because it's not as hot and disgusting. It's the only place in Israel that's not shithole desert that actually has few people living in it. Now, you can't just get out of your car and hike wherever you want because there's minefields. But stay away from the border and there's not so many minefields. They're all marked with fences with a little yellow triangles, so you can recognize them. Here's a cute story. When I was living on the ranch, and I will forever remember, I'm not good at, my memory sucks in general, TBI, but, and I'm not good with dates specifically, but this I will remember for always, May 11th. I was living on the ranch, and May 11th, middle of the night, 2, 3 in the morning, I get like 3 phone calls in a row from my boss. Finally, I wake up. I'm like, what the fuck do you want? Get in the car. There's a fire over at our buddy's ranch. All right. So, because it's one of the problems with ranching in Israel, there's nobody there to help you. We take care of everything by ourselves. If somebody's attacking us, we don't expect the army or the stupid police to show up. We run our own business. So, and if there's fires, we put them out because we're not waiting for the stupid government to decide to do anything about it. So we throw all our stuff in the truck and we go. And this is a really close friend of ours, has a ranch up just right as you get into the Golan Heights. So we get there. No shit, there's probably 30 of us standing there. We all have our leaf blowers on and, all the little stuff to start pushing back the fire. Understand, this is not a fire in a forest of redwoods, right? It's essentially a brush fire. And everything is so dry and everything is so tall at this point. It's May, so it's already super summer for Israel. And we get there, and I'm telling you, those flames were 30 feet high. I mean, huge, enormous flames. Here's the problem. The problem is, in order to get to those flames, you have to go into a minefield. And it's literally behind the fence, and there's all the flames, and we're all standing there on this road with the fence right there, and like, all right, here we go. So we file in, and we're along the fence there, and a couple of people are like, hey, has anybody ever dealt with minefields? And I'm like, fuck no, god damn it. They're like, okay, what do we do? Can you go clear some mines? I'm like, no, dude, there's 30-foot blazes. No, there's nothing I can do for the mines, and they're going to probably pop. A couple of them will probably pop if they're still any good. So anyway, we turn our stuff on, and we're starting to create a line, and we're going back and forth trying to push this blaze a little bit in the other direction. And just as soon as we took the first step, and this is what makes it a crazy story, the sky opens up, torrential downpour, and we're all all our tools, of course, died and everything, and just torrents of rain. And they put out this fire, and this fire was, it was going on for, as long as we could see there, which there's hills and stuff. It's not like you can see miles, but it was a giant fire. And it just all of a sudden in May, we don't get rain in May. It's not a thing that happens. It's not Tennessee, right? Anyway, that's one of my firefighting stories.
Divine intervention.
Kind of a miracle. Not going to lie.
All right,
kind of a miracle.
Where I invite you.
All right, am I done?
Get
awesome.
the fuck out of my chair.
Love you guys. I'll see you in a bit.
You don't got to leave. You
I'm not leaving?
You just got to get out of my chair.
Oh,
you get to sit in the middle.
There, Andy.
Oh. All right, guys.
Well, it's your turn. Oh, rude.
I have got...
That is rude.
Don Alexander is wanting to do a FaceTime. Don...
Where the hell are you?
I'm doing good, guys. Everybody say hi to Don Alexander. We're in the middle of the Tactical Tuesday live stream. What can I do for you, Don?
Hey man, we just watching you here. We're up here doing this training class in Vermont.
Yep.
We had a great day. Steve and Joe did a whole day of optic sighted pistols, and tomorrow we're doing some carbine stuff, and then tomorrow night vision. But right now we just finished off a pile of wings, and we're watching the world famous Sergeant Major Carl Erickson and his show on YouTube, man.
I miss you guys. For our viewers, the Vermont class that Don is doing right now is how I got Steve out of the house. Me and Randy and Don, we said we're not doing it if Steve Holland doesn't come with us. And we got Steve out. That was, 2 years ago now? Wow.
Yeah, brother.
Wow. Man, I miss you guys. I do. Guys, Don Alexander, one of the greatest warrant officers ever.
Like the weather was, the rain was kind of bad, but we pressed on. And then tomorrow is going to be beautiful weather and beautiful night. And we got about 8 or 10 students, some hard pipe hitting people, and we miss you. Wish you were here. Wish you were here teaching some tactical rifleman mojo magic.
We did have a good. You remember it rained like cats and dogs while we were there too. Yeah, that was a good class.
But I know you're busy and I know you're working. We just wanted to call in and tell you, hey, give you a shout out. All the boys say hi, and we're watching you live stream on the big screen here. And just want you to know, man, we miss you and wish you the best. I know you're doing great things. Keep doing what you're doing. And if you need anything from us, you know where we're at.
Yeah, thanks, Don. You take care, brother.
All right, have a good one, brother.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye. Guys, that was awesome. We just got a call from Don Alexander.
Yeah, there's some questions.
I know you've heard me talk about him before, but Don Alexander, he's another SF legend. He was on the green light teams back in the Cold War and everything. I met Don Alexander when he came, my SIF company, A15. Don was the, normally you have a senior captain to be your company XO executive officer. You have a major for a company commander, but you normally have a senior captain for an XO. We didn't. We had a warrant officer named Don Alexander, and we didn't need a captain because Don was no shit. Don was the man. And awesome guy. The big hit we did, Bridget and Kelly were the two targets we did a simultaneous hit on. You guys have heard this story. It was the one where Sularu wasn't allowed to go on. They took away his ammo and everything. I was a sniper up on the hill. Tony Pryor ended up getting a silver star. I got a bronze star out of it. Great mission. Condor, the company commander, he was co-located up at my sniper position with his JTAC and his RTO, and he did right out of the schoolhouse. He did the assault countdown over the radio, but he was timing it off of the other half of the company. Was the Task Force 160th had landed their 47s with the Humvees in the back. They rolled the assault Humvees out, put the Mark 19s and the 50 cals up on the turrets, opened the running boards, put all the assaulters on the vehicles, and they ran. They did a rolling assault on one target while we were less than a kilometer away doing a deliberate assault. And the reason why we had to hit them both at the same time, because if you hit one, the bad guys on the other ones would get away, and vice versa. So we're like, we got to hit them both at the same time. So we were stacked on, all the assaulters were stacked on the breach points for like 10, 15 minutes because they took them longer to drive there than they thought. So you got bad guys walking, pulling guard duty on one side of the wall, the assault forces stacked up, and the one guy, AJ Root, he's telling me, he's like, man, I was scared to death because there's a hole in the wall. And I looked through the hole in the wall, and the guy is standing right there. The guy steps, he's 5 feet away from me on the other side of the wall, 5 feet. He's got his AK slung. I can see his beard and everything. He's smoking a cigarette. And I was scared to death, and then all of a sudden you keyed your IR laser, and it was right on the side of his head. And it just every now and then I would turn it on to kind of see my target a little bit better whenever he would walk into the shadows. And AJ Root said, he's like, that right there gave me the courage that we can do this. Carl's got my back. Carl's got my back. We can do this. We can do this. They completely erased that guy when they fired the charge on the door because they weren't sure it was a door. They didn't know whether it was a gate or what from satellite imagery, so they brought a wall charge. So they opened a door with a wall charge and completely erased this guy.
Monkey.
I mean, erased him. I mean, I watched him go from there to there was nothing left. There was. But anyways, Don Alexander was he was a ground force commander for the other target, and the company commander had no doubt that Don Alexander could easily handle command of that target. Funny thing how missions worked out. We had complete surprise on my target. We only killed a few guys, took a lot of prisoners, rescued a couple hostages we didn't even know were there. Because we had surprise. Principles of close quarters battle, surprise, speed, violence, action. We had surprise, and then speed and violence of action. I mentioned the charges, right? So we killed, I want to say 5, 6 guys, 7 guys, 8 guys. All right, maybe a few more than that. The other target, right as the Humvees were rolling out, one of the bad guys came out to hike up his man dress to take a piss in his front yard because they're all animals, right? You guys know this, right?
You know what? Hey, hold on. It's not home
now.
if you can't piss outside.
I know, right? I know.
saying,
I'm talking. God, I pee outside my house all the time. But he saw the Humvees coming, and that gave him enough time to go inside and say, "The Americans are here. The Americans are here." And when they all woke up, you understand, if you've got 3 or 4 seconds, you can look into your buddy's eyes. And you gain courage from, I don't want to let my buddies down. Every guy on the other target fought to the death. Every guy. They didn't take a single prisoner off the other target. Every bad guy on the other target fought to the death. And hell, Tony Pryor snapped one guy's neck, shot another guy in the face with a pistol, and then keyholed 2 guys with what he called Roman candles through the face. He had just changed mags. His ready mag was all tracers. I hope Tony's kids aren't watching. Anyways, it's just Keystone Cops on target sometimes, and I'm glad we had Don Alexander there. Really, really glad we did. Don, to you and the rest of the Warriors at A15, you are and always will be the man.
Oh, is that tasty?
That is.
All right, so Susan sent me more.
Okay.
I got more questions.
More questions.
Emery, this is from Tack Driver 10.
Tack Driver 10.
Tack Driver 10.
You understand, your mom named you weird as shit, right?
How'd she know you were going to like guns? Emery,
how many kids did she have that she had to actually number them? I can't just come up with crazy names. I got to number the crazy
Yeah, we know.
names.
Well, yeah, but there's 10 tack drivers. How many nail drivers are there?
Yeah.
How many window lickers are there?
You are. Oh, just look at this, baby. That's going to be a window licker. All right, you're window licker 3. Look at this one. Oh, we're twins?
That one's going in the back of the tent.
Oh, that's a tack driver. What? Tack driver 9. We already used 9. Shit. All right, you are tack driver 10. Put the infant down.
All the window lickers live in the back of the tent. All right. You guys, if you guys have been overseas, you get that reference. All right. Emery, would you recommend any products from Agilite? The short answer is yes. Agilite's had some weird political stuff going on, but I have I believe it's called the K19 plate carrier. And so far, that plate carrier has been nothing short of excellent. So, yes, I would. I would recommend them. All right. Without further ado, again, Emery, do you carry a Swiss Army knife? I do not. However, I have a multi-tool, not a Swiss Army knife.
You got it on you today?
Well, it's always on me. It's not on my pants right now, but yes. Yeah. It's, well, yeah, that same one.
Buddy,
that same one.
Mine looks just like Emery's. What? So where's yours, Emery?
Mine's in the truck.
But it's not on you.
My truck goes everywhere I go. We just got done talking about how I'm at 30,000 miles. Here's the deal.
I bought these guys matching Leatherman P3s for Christmas because, guys, I love it.
Awesome.
And again, full disclosure, I have no connections to Leatherman, but it's magnetic and you can open it one hand. It comes with a belt clip and it is badass. It is the P3, right? Or P4?
I don't know, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's the P4, guys.
P4.
P4?
Yeah, fantastic tool. And it's got a belt clip, so you don't have to have it in a pouch. You can stick it in a pocket, just like
Mine
a pocket
has got
knife.
so much wear on
It's
it.
a free P4. Leatherman
P4.
Free P4.
Free P4. It's
so-
badass, guys.
Honestly, I think Swiss Army knives are... they were cool in the 80s.
The Leatherman and the Gerbers are the modern equivalent of the Swiss Army knife.
Except they have tools you would actually use.
Yeah, Victorinox.
Victorinox.
Victorinox, however the hell you say it. They've actually sent us multi-tools.
Have they really?
Yeah, to test, and I ended up giving them away because
I have one.
don't get me wrong. I gave it to you, right?
Yeah.
I gave it to Randy.
Where the hell was I?
This is pre-Emery. The quality is insane, guys. They have great quality. They are a great company, but their innovations, I've met the guys at Leatherman, and they've got a crew of young engineers, like chomping at the bit engineers with great new ideas. And I'm gonna go Leatherman every day. Gerbers, we used to get issued a new Gerber multi-tool. The Army went with the Gerber because you could open it with one hand. I'm like, look, that's fine. I can open it with one hand, but the blade's going to break the first time I cut anything with it. The pliers are going to break the first time I try to clamp something with it. Flash hider or whatever. So all my relatives during the global war on terror, they all got brand new Gerbers for Christmas because I would get a new one for every deployment and it would stay in the box and I would give them to relatives up in Connecticut for Christmas. So
because that's about all they're allowed to carry. I got one more. All right.
Don Alexander says, cheers, brother. Don, sincerely. All right, here's a little bit of military trivia for you real quick. You guys know how much I love officers, right? So, we come back from wherever, and we've been gone a lot. And it dawned on me that I'm walking across this parking lot at Fort Bragg, and there's this young lieutenant coming at me. And I can see he's locked eyes, and he's already bringing his hand up because he's waiting for me to salute him. So I turned and went down a different row of cars so I wouldn't have to salute this lieutenant, right? And it dawned on me, it's like, I haven't saluted an officer in over a year. Because you just don't, in the SF unit, you just, hey, Tom, how you doing? Bob, hey, sir, how you doing? Carl, Major, right? But you just didn't do it. So then I immediately deployed. We come back 2 weeks later, deployed again, came back. I'm back at Bragg doing this, that, and the other. And well, anyways, I had to go up on stage. I got a general pin and a silver star on me, and I'm supposed to salute, but instead I hold my hand out and shake hands with him. And General shook my hand and everything, pinned on Bronze Star, good to go. I want to say 2 weeks away from making it 2 years without saluting an officer. That was my goal. I wanted to make it 2 years.
What's the trivia question?
All right, so I wanted to make it 2 years without saluting an officer. And we were out at the old, where they had the brats on the schnitzel at the back of base. You
talking about Bragg?
No, on Campbell. Anyways, the back part of base, there's like a O Club or something.
Oh, yeah.
They had German schnitzel there and everything. We're doing the going away party for Chief Warrant Officer Don Alexander, and they gave him this beautiful plaque and everything. I had to run out to the car for something, so I'm coming back in, and Don Alexander brought out, Chief Alexander had brought out his retirement plaque and was putting it in his car, and he's getting ready to walk back in. And I see him, and I'm in uniform. I'm in full-blown uniform, Green Beret and everything. When you're in uniform, you are expected to salute. All right, and there's Don Alexander standing there, and you understand I'm 2 weeks away from making it 2 years without saluting and all. And I'm not saying that's trivial, guys. It's trivial. I got that. But I'm like, Chief? And I went to go salute him, and Chief looked at me and said, Carl, you don't got to salute me. I'm like, Chief, brother, I've got to salute you because you're one of the only guys I respect. You're one of the only guys that warrants a salute. And he's a combat leader. So, Don, I almost made it. I was 2 weeks away. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Okay, I got to turn of Don Alexander.
All right, okay, come on. Slide, because I want to hear this. I want him near the mic.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Slide chairs, switch chairs with him.
No, it's okay.
He's geriatric, man. He's 70 years old. Give him the roller. He needs a wheelchair.
Don Alexander and he was in E8. I was E7, and he was going to make E9. And I was one of 8 guys making E8. And we got told we could only do 2 years on the team, and then we were going to have to go first sergeant job. So total, there was 23 from all groups. Green Berets went down to is that Rucker?
Where you guys do the
warrant officer school?
I think it's at Rucker. Yeah,
Rucker.
I'm
all
not
right.
sure. Never went warrant.
There's 1,000 stories down there I can tell. They won't let that many Green Berets ever go through again because we tore the place up. And Don was part of that. But this is what, when we're a team, right? So we had all these guys that were rotor heads and different stuff. And guys were screwing up, making mistakes. And we found out right off the bat, they couldn't do PT worth shit. So we would collapse when they would collapse, right?
Yeah.
And we maxed out everything. But so Don's getting up, and this is the middle of the night, and everybody's supposed to be in bed. He's got everybody together, and we're in this one room in the barracks. And he goes, listen, we're Green Berets here. We all pass or none of us pass. That's the thing. We're all going to come through this together. And this one guy goes, because you have specialty things you got to do. He put me in charge of the bathroom. That's how important I was. But anyway, certain guys had things they did really well. And Don's putting this stuff out. And this guy says, no, I don't want to do that. I want to pick my aircraft frame. And I'm not going to go along with this. And Don says, no, we're all a team. And we're going to do this all together. We're all going to graduate together, or we won't graduate. And we had an incident where that actually came up. And we stood by our guns, and they put us back to... what do they call it? Snowbird status, and we graduated with no privileges because we stuck to our guns, right? This guy threatens Don Alexander. You don't understand. We weren't old then. Don could kick several guys' ass while drinking a cup of coffee, right? And this rotor head, and there's 23 of us Green Berets, and there's like 8 of us from 5th group, and we're like, this guy's gonna get his ass kicked. But no, Don's cool. Don goes, really, really calm. He goes, you could probably kick my ass, but I got 23 other brothers here that are just going to stomp a mud hole in your ass if you try anything like that. So why don't we just all work together? He was really calm and cool. And the guy looks around, and all of us were like, yeah. But it won't come to us because you're going to get your ass kicked by Don. But that's the story. He made it everybody cohese awesome. Together without having a single fight, and he did it really calm and cool, and the 23 of us were back behind him going, we got your back, brother. Love you, Don. That was cool as hell. I would have just kicked the guy's ass and been done with it, but that was cool, man. I'm going to let Emery get back.
Oh, you can stay. Joe Snuffy, Carl, will you ever make a TR rifle in 308? If not, how would you build out a 308? I will be making an AR-10 in 308 after we do this next run of TR-1A1 rifles. The TR-1A1 is a piston this time. It is a piston. I'm not giving any more details yet, but it's going to be a piston gun. Because there's a lot of you that have been asking about, we want to run suppressors full time, this, that, and the other. And okay, you want to run a suppressor, that's awesome. But if you're going to run a suppressor often, you need to go with a piston. So that's what I'm, and it's not ready. It's not ready to go public yet. I've still got a few more changes to make to it, because you guys deserve to have awesome. Susan had to bail, but the rest of Donut or JT, whoever, my other moderators, if you've got more questions that come in, send them to me, guys. Piece of cake. Now, what did Brittany say? Hi, Carl. Just got back from Europe early Sunday morning. Was too jet lagged to come out. I'd love to go to the class. What are the dates and times? My brother's birthday party is this weekend, so I have to go to that Saturday evening. That's a question for Emery. Remind me, we'll answer Brittany later. Britches. Emery, Brittany is wanting to go to the Gunrunner pistol course, and which is this weekend, and it is an awesome course indeed. Guys, while we're waiting for more questions to come in, there were a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Again, if you're interested in coming and doing classes on Saturday, in September, I've got Combat Pistol 101, Combat Pistol Carbine, Advanced Pistol Carbine, and again, those are in addition to the weekend prior where Emery and Chad Mormon are running Gunrunner Carbine. Gunrunner Carbine, not tactical shooting. It is about you mastering that firearm. Good stuff indeed. I mentioned a couple weeks ago a GoFundMe for one of our patrons named Ray Craddock. He great guy, super great guy, Department of Homeland Security. He rolled his Suburban, I want to say like 20 times, and got busted up really bad. But the bad part is it cut the brachial nerve in his left arm. They patched up all the plumbing, but nerves are very, very hard to repair. They're right now doing some experimental surgeries where they've taken nerves like out of the back of his leg, and they're trying to reroute them in his arm and everything. You understand it's expensive, experimental, and the government doesn't pay for that. So it's not it. So anyways, not this week, but we're gonna do a auction once the knives come in. When I say knives, Kraken Tactical is a knife maker out of Australia. You guys know the deal. He made Randy's damn cowboy knife. If you haven't seen the damn this is the sheath it comes in. That's how big the freaking blade is. Right? Just not some mental kind of sick bitch would make a knife like that. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Guys, I can't even fit it on the freaking screen. Look at the size of that thing. It's got the damn cowboy logo on one side, and it's got Tactical Rifleman on the other side. Anyways, this Randy Worst designed this knife. Kraken did a good job making it, and
Excellent.
And again, he's done knives for my patrons and stuff. He just sent me a bunch more knives. You know how gay I thought Sularu was with his Tama chicken, his tomahawk. He threw it at me one time. But and I know guys like to throw their axes and stuff. This is not meant to be. It's not meant for survival. Is that not sexy? Look at the head on that thing. Now, utility-wise, what would this be good for? And don't say for cutting your way out of a crashed MC-130 airplane. How about no? All right. It would work, but it wouldn't work that well. I looked at it and I was like, this thing, there's pretty well absolutely nothing that I could do with this. So, but I'm like, well, there's got to be more to the story. So I actually reached out to Kraken, and his wife is Filipino. And if you go back through Filipino history, remember I have my Viking heritage, right? So for all my libtards that are there, all my Google moderators, every slave my family owned was white, by the way. All right, my Viking heritage. Yeah, you want reparations? I got reparations for you. His wife's history, her tribe or whatever. This is what they would use to go cut heads off their enemies. They would get liquored up and do some fancy dances, and they would go to up over the mountain to the next tribe, and they'd go cut heads off. Okay, I mean, you got to have a hobby, right? Some people do golf, some people go to the target range. Today is actually what paddle day. It's
I wasn't
pickle day.
Yeah,
pickleball day.
Yeah.
Today is pickleball day. Whatever your hobby is, and if your hobby is chopping the heads off of our enemies and then drinking tasty beverages from their skulls. I don't know. But anyways, I thought when he showed it to me, he didn't just show it to me, explain it to me. He then sent me like 5 or 6 different articles written about their tribal customs and everything. And I started reading and I was like, no shit. So we are, no joke, going to do a video. I'm going to have Tactical Rifleman video. I'm going to have Randy and Jularoo show me how to throw this headhunter knife. I want them to give me a class on how to throw Tama chickens. And absolutely zero tactical use at all. No, you will never see anyone putting that on their body armor. No, you won't. It's not what it's meant for. Kraken purely understands that this is a novelty and it's to honor his wife's heritage, that's badass, right? Is it not? That you're not just making up shit. Let's actually have a story behind it. I thought that was cool. So anyways, what Kraken has done is, who's up?
Where can we buy one?
Okay. Kraken is sending a one-of-a-kind knife here, along with a couple other things, and we're going to auction them off. I was hoping to get them in today. They're not here yet, so it'll probably be next Sunday. Steve Holland will be back here, and we're going to do an auction. And all 100% of the money, Kraken doesn't want a dime. I do not want a dime. 100% of the money will go to Ray Craddock to pay for his surgeries and future surgeries, because he's got a long way to go. Guys, Kraken is a long member of the Tactical Rifleman family. He was one of my original 5 patrons, I want to say 6-7 years ago. Him and Susan and Dean DeLisandro were the 3 people that got me to put on the first Patreon course at Rockcastle. And Randy was there, right?
Yeah.
We did your throwing sticks and bolos, and Randy got mad at me. But it was a good time. So anyways, so why am I saying this if we're not doing it tonight? I'm saying it because I want you guys to sincerely say, all right, I just like you can hug your wife with both arms. You can hug your kids with both arms. You can pick up your grandkids. You can pick up your daughter. You can hug them with both arms. And right now, Ray Craddock can't do that. And his wife is taking care of him. His daughter's taking care of him. And Ray is fighting hard, but the government's not taking care of him. They will not pay for these experimental surgeries. And so anyways, me and my wife have already donated money. If you guys don't want to donate, that's fine. But if you want to lay it on your heart, that's why I'm here to do that. I hope you win bidding on the limited edition knife whenever we do the auction. But even if you don't win, whatever money that was that you were trying to bid up to, let me know. I'll find something else to give you, but I hope I hope you guys be willing to pitch the money in because they're. I wish I was making enough money that I could fly my private jet out there and just write him out one of those big 4 foot by 2 foot checks and say you're good. But I didn't join the military to make money. I definitely did not join the military to make money.
I do my tidings every month, and Ray will get my tidings.
Well, I appreciate that, Ray.
Because tidings are tidings. You can give it to your church or somebody who needs it, and he's a good man, Ray is, and he deserves that. So all the help he can get.
Very, very cool. I had a question come up earlier today. I think I've got JT sending me more here. No name asks recommended optic to and push 22 long rifle, 600 yards with 4 to 6 inch target.
I'm doing that right now with the
guys. Garand Thumb had some ass clown on the internet that said he could hit a Coke can at like 600 yards. So Garand Thumb flew him out there, and I guess the guy actually hit the soda can with 22 long rifle. Yeah,
First shot.
No. I think he gave him like 40 shots. You guys understand? I've never watched the video. I don't know, but I understand. Recommended optic to try and push. You understand? You are completely asking the wrong guy because I don't do any of that jackassery at all. So 22 long rifles are for within 100 meters for groundhogs. All right. I couldn't tell you what I couldn't tell you what optic you need to use. Number one, you should probably be using iron sights because if your 22 long rifle can hit at 600 yards. Then you obviously need to be doing it with iron sights. I mean, otherwise it's too easy. Philip Wilson's asking for a time frame on the TR1A1. I'm hoping by SHOT Show. However, right now I'm waiting till all the rest of the TR rifles have been fulfilled, and I have not gotten that word yet from Tactical Edge. Bobby, the president at Tactical Edge, was taking people's money, not offering refunds, but a lot of those guns, they've paid for 2 years ago and still haven't gotten their guns yet. So I told him, don't take any more orders. Once all those orders are filled, but no, I do not want my name connected with anything with a T, an R, and a 1 at all. So I'm not selling my new guns until those are done. That's just not going to do it. I would have taken them to court already. That's just me. And I know people have threatened to take him to court. I know because they've threatened me also, as though I've done anything wrong. And it pisses me off, guys. If you've not figured that out yet, it pisses me off that I've had my name tarnished because of some guy who promised me that he would take good care of my fans and get them a high quality rifle. And guys, to this day, it is hands down the best AR I have ever used in my life. The TR1 rifle, hands down, best AR. Better than Daniel Defense, better than Knight's Armament, best rifle I've ever. But I got mine in 30 days. Why are guys not getting their rifles now? So and saying that, well, there's a delay on getting the stocks or the pistol grips, or no, that shit don't fly anymore. Don't fly. It just don't fly. So I apologize. If you're one of the guys out there that's still waiting to get your Tier 1 rifle, honest, I'd be emailing and calling every day.
I'm going to let Emery sit in here because you guys got the classes coming up, and you're probably still going to ask him some questions. So we're going to trade seats. Emery's coming in here. And we both drank all of our coffee.
Coffee's gone.
All right. All right. S. Lee asks, thoughts on the SIG P320 discharges. You know, I saw a video where it went off in a cop's holster. I don't know if he had any foreign objects or anything down in there that could have been like hitting the trigger. I don't know. I just know that when the Army bought the M17 and the M18, it had an external safety on it. All right. And I know all you cool guys, you don't need an external safety, but you understand that's the way the gun was designed from the start, was to have an external safety. And everybody wanted it without the external safety. So then it's just like a Glock. If you wanted something just like a Glock, you should have just got a Glock, right? Because you literally just bought a P320 that's just like a Glock. You understand? It's not any better at all than a Glock. You should have just got a Glock. So my SIG 320 is an M18 and it has an external safety on it. I was told that when the Army did their initial tests, they had drop failures with the gun going off when they were dropped. Drop tests, guns going off. But I was also told that SIG fixed that issue for the military. Now, somebody, it was Coach, if you guys know Coach, a lot of y'all don't. I don't want to throw his name under the bus. He told me that he thought it was messed up that SIG did not fix that for the rest of the guns. Full disclosure, I don't know, guys. I don't carry a 320. I don't. I run a Glock because that's what most of my students run. I have a holster that comes on and off for my Glock. I have a M9 holster for when I have to teach people still running the Army M9s. I have a 1911 holster for when I have to teach people with 1911s. I have a SIG M18 holster for with the X300 light and the optic, so that if I have to teach U.S. military troops shooting M17s, M18s, I can teach them with the firearm that they're using. When I show up at a class, if most of the students are running iron sights, I run iron sights for that class. And even though I always ran an optic EDC, for years I would always run iron sights, even though I've been telling everybody for 7-8 years, hey, all combat optics in 5 years, all combat pistols will have optics on them within 5 years. Now fast forward 5 years, for the last year and a half, now in class, I look right there.
Almost
everyone is running an optic, which is awesome for me because I prefer to run an optic. My Glock that has a just iron sight stays in my gun bag. Now, when more people start showing up with SIG 320s, I will start running the SIG 320 in class. All right. But I got guys that show up with CZs. I've got guys that show up with H&Ks. I got guys that show up with all P226s from time to time. If it's a double action gun, or if it has a decocking lever or a external safety, you need to develop the muscle memory that, right, you shoot, did I hit, did I get the desired effect? Once you've done that and you break it back into your workspace, part of that pulling it back is rotating that thumb and hitting either the decocker or placing the weapon back on safe. You do that with a 1911. So then if you have to run to that next shooting position, if you have to run to that next part in the competition, or the next point of cover in a combat situation, that next doorway, if a non-combatant steps out or you trip and fall, you don't have to worry about the gun going off, right?
There's a few other things about the 320 / M18. First and foremost, in a public setting, I am glad to be able to hopefully get this message out and be heard by SIG. I love SIG. I'm a SIG guy. I carried a SIG in the military. Here's my question to SIG. Have you guys ever seen a human hand? Have you ever seen a hand, one of these, because your gun doesn't fit in it? I love the 320. This is the weird
It doesn't
catch.
cut your hand like the Glock
It
does.
doesn't cut my hand. The Glocks cut my hand, even with the added little doohickey in the back. But there's a few problems with the 320 still left that are severe. One, the polymer they use for those guns is garbage. And by the way, guys, this is creative criticism. I'm not trying to shit on SIG. I actually shoot that gun, the 320. I shoot it better than any other gun I own. But the M18...
It's a good gun, guys. It's a good...
Yeah.
My
The
M18,
safety-
I like it.
The safety on them M18, this is why I ask if they've ever seen a hand. It doesn't sit in the right
No.
place. If you have a good grip on the gun, you can't reach that safety.
It was an afterthought.
Yeah, it was totally an afterthought. Like, Army wanted a safety. Just slap one somewhere.
Glock did that too. Their submission for that contract, they had a Glock
With a
an
safety.
external safety. I actually tried to get it for a video. It is back in Austria in a safe. If they said if it was here in the States, Carl, we would have got it for you. But it is back in Austria. And no, they're not going to fly it over for me.
Yeah, I doubt it. But, so there's a few other problems. Why, SIG, oh great SIG, would you make a plate to take off to mount the optic that has the rear sight on the plate? You fucking morons. Why would you do that? Why would you sell me a gun that doesn't have a rear sight? Are you out of your mind? I'm done.
You done?
It's a great gun, guys.
No, the
It is a good
320. I understand it's a new gun. It takes a while to work the bugs out. Again, I don't know. I've seen on Instagram just scrolling to try to get to see if my post actually showed up. I see people sharing video. Mike from Mr. Guns and Gear, he'll share. I shared the little video clip of the couple cops are manhandling this guy, and all of a sudden the 320 goes off in his holster.
In the holster, nobody touched it.
No, yeah.
It, like, cooked off.
Somebody bumped. I forgot what it was, but nobody was even gripping it, and it was a full wraparound, completely enclosed, level 3 retention holster. But again, I don't know if. For all I know, he could have had 7 or 8 casings in there. He could have had a bunch of donut wrappers. I don't know. I just know I have seen 5 operators shoot themselves. Not 5 cooks, not 5 civilians. I've seen 5 operators shoot themselves. 2 of them were practicing their quick draw. One of them in a hotel room. Put it right through the mirror in front of them. I didn't actually see it. I was a room down the hallway. But the other 3 were reholstering because guys try to draw fast, but then they try to put it away fast so then they can draw fast again. Reholster reluctantly, and by them trying to put it away fast, they end up getting a piece of clothing or something between the gun, especially on a Glock. All it's got to do is nick that trigger safety, and next thing you know,
by the way, do you know,
it goes off.
And I know this, well, A, because he's told me, but I was just reminded by him. Our good friend Chad, you know how you always say that things go like the tall risers? Yeah, we had tall risers in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Chad ran and look at this, he ran a Dr. Optic on his Glock in 2003.
Yeah, the brand new ones were Doctors, and there's another one called the J Point.
I didn't even know. That wasn't even a thing.
They must have had it cut for it.
Must have.
Yeah.
People with money.
The 2003, 2004 time frame. 2004, we started having snipers starting to run the little pistol optics as backups on the side of their sniper scopes on like the SPRs and the SR25s. My unit, we couldn't afford them. And honestly, I didn't need them, guys. I wish I had a scope here I could show you.
Well, the thing is that most military units that run pistols, I mean, it's your backup, right?
Yeah.
Let's be honest about it. It's your backup. So, for example, I have a training in October for a really good unit where I, from a couple months ago through October, I am only shooting a Glock 19 with iron sights because that's what they're running. And the bottom line is, and I think this is the good argument for no red dot, because once you get used to that red dot, man, you shoot better. If your fundamentals are squared away, you shoot better with a red dot. You're faster on target, and you're faster between shots and transitions and all that. But it's still a thing with glass, with batteries, electronic components, and if you're running a pistol as a backup to your main battle gun, do you really need it? I don't think it's, it depends on your job, obviously. Do I think it's necessary? Absolutely not. Does it make you shoot faster? Yes. Once you're good with it. It's a thing. I don't know.
And there's a lot of the big argument. I've heard Command Sergeant Majors say it all the time. Like, look, the pistol is just a backup. Why do you guys need all this ammo to train for it? And the reality is, if you can master this, then the rifle is easy because all the fundamentals are the same. They're literally running that rifle is so much easier. So, and that's why your direct action troops, they focus so much on pistol. It's the reason why we teach pistol before, for example, in September, we are doing Combat Pistol 101 and Gun Runner Pistol before we do Combat Pistol Carbine. And that is because the fundamentals of pistol marksmanship apply to rifle and shotgun. So
I just noticed another question about Gun Runner here. Okay. So, hey Emery, this is Tony Dotson.
Tony!
I'm signed up for the Gun Runner in September.
Yep.
Can you share a little bit of what to expect in that course? Yes. So, gladly. Essentially, 2-day course, right? And we worked hard on kind of refining what it is that we want in there. What you should expect is day one, we're doing nothing but reps. It is by design, it's supposed to get boring because you're supposed to get good at stuff and keep doing it, right? So we're going to do up drills, low ready, high ready, all the getting in position, multiple shots, multiple target engagements, that kind of stuff, except we're not doing it in a tactical context, right? We are, of course, it's still shooting is shooting.
It all applies,
right?
It all applies.
But we are focusing on the mechanics. We're trying to nail down and get really, really good the mechanics so that you do everything exactly the same and faster and faster and faster. So we say all the time, our job is not to make you shoot faster. Our job is to make you shoot sooner, right? So when you get something committed well to your subconscious action, then it runs. And when you keep running it, what happens is it's an effect called tachypsychia. It's one of the physiological effects we discuss in classes, which is the altered perception of time. You feel like it went really slow, but then you look at the shot timer and you're like, wow, okay, I just beat my time, but it felt slow. And that's kind of the goal, is to get everything committed that way. So that's day one. Day two, we're going to get into same kind of deal, but we're testing those same functions that you're doing with your gun with some other stuff. So, we do things like we have what we call the compass drill, where you have to run to different locations and shoot from there. Different stuff like that, where we're just testing your same fundamentals, but now we're incorporating some more stuff that your brain has to think about, and higher heart rate, that kind of thing.
I got another one for Gun Runner right here.
Okay.
All right. Without further ado, asks, will Gun Runner ever be ran in Texas? As a matter of fact, the very next month, October. All right. Let me make sure I got my dates right here. September, Gun Runner, October. It is 21 and 22 October. It is going to be at Range 35, which is right outside of Dallas off of I-35, right? Right off of I-35 near Dallas is a range called Range 35. That's where we're going to hold it. Again, that is 21.
They let us shoot at helicopters there.
Yeah, 21, 22 October. And the class is...
I thought it was full.
2, 4... No, we only got 6 for that one right now.
Okay.
So it is... that class is only half full right now. Half full. No big deal. And I can go bigger than that on that one, because that range we can handle more people.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So
it's a great range, by the way.
Yeah. Good range. We got good facilities there too. Great classroom, and a great bargain for lodging. There's it's very near a place called Beaumont Ranch where we're going to be holding our Patreon course in October. Matter of fact, there's 1 day break after Gunrunner Pistol at range 35. Me and Emery get 1 day off to basically reset, clean everything up. And then the very next day, the 24th, starts our annual Patreon course, Tactical Rifleman Patreon course. You have to be a patron to attend the course. I don't care if you're a $1 a month patron or a $200 a month patron, doesn't matter. But you have to be a patron. 4 days. First day is we break it into 2 halves. We have like new shooting for the guys that are bringing like their spouses and kids and stuff. We'll have firearm safety stuff, but then the other more experienced guys will be on the other range with Emery and a couple other instructors, and they'll be doing running and gunning stuff like that. Day 2, combat casualty, tactical combat casualty care course. And again, that's split in half. The ones that have already taken the class last year will be doing medical scenarios, and then everybody new will be doing the class. Afternoon is escapology. Will be how to get out of ropes, duct tapes, chains, zip ties, flex cuffs, handcuffs. But because I have a lot of return patrons that have already taken this class, when they start doing the handcuffs, we're going to move the ones that have already done handcuffs over, and I have got, I think 20 sets of lock picks right now. I've got a bunch of practice locks, everything from quick sets and Brinkmans for commercial doors all the way to padlocks. And I will be one of your lead instructors for lock picking. That's day 2. Day 3, that is called the actual range day. We're going to have scored stages set up where we're actually keeping score, different CTEs, stuff like that, run and gun type stuff. And the reason for that is we have a prize table, and whoever the top shooter is, he's the first one, or she, first one to go to the prize table. Guys, I've got awesome stuff. I have got a autographed copy of John Plaster's Ultimate Sniper. I mentioned Dead Red. We've got optics on the prize table, all kinds of bunch of good stuff. We're also going to have 9 full auto guns there, including a SAW, MP5, bunch of other stuff. We're going to have Dragunovs there. We're going to have Barrett 50 cals. We're going to have Garands, all kinds of legacy military guns, opportunity for people to shoot them.
Last year it was hilarious.
It was
the
awesome.
People shooting the 50 off the truck.
Yeah.
You see all the girls, Mel and Joey and everybody just getting rocked. Oh, it was awesome.
The last
Smile
day.
was big.
All right, no, also part of that day is primitive weapons. So Randy, so in other words, you can go from a Barrett 50 cal to a SAW machine gun to running and gunning to throwing sticks and bolos and arrows with a slingshot, everything. Randy's going to have a separate stage set up for that. And again, we party every night. We go out to dinner as a group. We've got Hard 8 Barbecue. We've got an Italian place this year, a Mexican place, and a Texas steakhouse. Grand finale, the final day is we got a round robin of little small classes, but while other people are doing them, I am renting. I already talked to the pilot. Already talked to them. They are 100% in. We have got a Little Bird helicopter. I'm not making it up. And 2 shooters at a time, 1 per side, and shooting 4 score. In other words, you're not just plinking at steel and you're saying how awesome you are. We're actually going to have instructors out there scoring your hits on target and giving you clean clean targets to shoot at. And you'll be doing gun runs from a Little Bird helicopter. Grand finale, graduation, everything that night. Anyways, Beaumont Ranch is it's like an old cowboy town. Yeah, that's
the one. That's the one right there.
Little Bird helicopter.
That's the same one that's going to be there again this year.
Yep. It's a good time, guys. Real good time. Anyways, they've got a bunkhouse. So if you can afford a room, for example, me and my wife, we get the room we got. I want to say it's like where the jailhouse is. You go in the jail and it's a nice king size bed or whatever. You go to the saloon, but you open the door of the saloon and it's 2 queen size beds. You understand? It looks like a cowboy town, but they also have a bunkhouse. So if, let's say you're on a tight budget, what was it, $40 a night, something like that?
Yeah, it was not bad at all.
Nice bunk beds, communal bathrooms, communal kitchen and family areas and everybody. Anyways, it's a great time hanging out. That's where all my instructors are going to be staying, in the bunkhouse. So a lot of you, even though you could afford the rooms, you just wanted to stay in the bunkhouse with the instructors. And I know everybody had a good time. Man, there was a lot of moonshine being drank there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Steve Holland says he's coming. We're trying. Warwick Marsh is probably coming. Randy Worst is coming. Emery's coming. I'm coming. Chad Mormon's coming. I believe we got Travis Hall. We got Anthony from Texas coming.
That's right.
Coach from Texas A&M. Corps Cadets Marksmanship Team. Coach is going to be there. You guys have seen all these videos that these guys have done. And anyways, it's going to be a great course.
Patreon's always
it's always a good time. A funny part is we're 2 months out and it's like half full. So I got slots. If you're a patron, you're interested in coming. I understand money's tight right now. If you just want to send me an email, message me, say, "Hey, Carl, save me a slot."
By the way, the gun runner class is not only for patrons.
Yeah,
the Patreon class is for patrons only.
Yeah, you can sign up for Gun Runner Pistol in Texas. You do not have to be a patron for that. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Maria LaCourte and Carrie Walton and Susan Britcher. Half of the those three, they've all signed up for Gun Runner Pistol. So you have a co-ed class. It's going to be awesome, guys. It's going to be a great course indeed.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Gun Runner Pistol, Gun Runner Carbine. Those are new classes that we added this year. Good stuff indeed. Yeah. Guys, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark already. We are wore out, sunburn. My knee is just screaming at me, I want to go get in the hot tub, but I can't because Emery would end up going out there, and I'm not letting a Palestinian in my hot tub. That's just we're not.
Carl. Did you hide some?
Oh, funny stuff. But anyways, I want to give a shout out again to our sponsor. All right, Bucked Up. Guys, Emery does love these things right here. Buckshots. Last week they were on sale. Literally, you could get a 6-pack for free last Tuesday. That it's not for sale right now.
I hope they don't send us more stuff because I drink that shit like nothing.
Yeah, dude, have another one, just not tonight.
My heart is gonna explode.
I know. Tell you what, if you need to work out and you're worried about getting wore out, this was the pre-workout one.
Oh, hey, Carl. I saw a question pop up here before that I forgot about, but somebody was asking, where can you go and donate to...
this shit will tear you up. It's awesome.
Where can you go and donate to Ray's thing?
Donate, if you're here and you still have the link from last week. I don't have the link handy right now. I'd have to pull it up in an email. Guys, I'm going to ask Donut to put it in the chat room if Donut's still here and he can do it.
Oh, I think
Steve Holland did not forget we're doing lever action carbines at Patreon. Yeah, Steve Holland wanted me to add that day one of Patreon, while the experienced shooters are off doing the run and gun We are going to be doing a round robin of basically all the different operating systems. And Steve Holland is even trying to have it'll probably be Henry, come out with a bunch of their lever guns. And if Henry doesn't want to play, I fully understand. But between Steve Holland, Randy, me, and a couple other instructors, I've got 3 lever guns. Lever guns are good to go, guys. Lever guns are good guy. Steve just wanted me to remind you guys. Patreon, I can't say it enough, guys. It is cheaper per day than going to regular tactical rifleman classes because I do discounts for my patrons, and the days are not as long. We spend a lot of time. We take longer lunches. The dinners are always a party, and then we go back to the bar, and we've got a big fire pit outside where Randy shows everybody how to make a bonfire with a flamethrower, and
sometimes break car windows.
All right, we broke one car window last year.
You break one car.
But yeah, guys, Patreon course is gonna be awesome, awesome indeed. Again, yep. All right, so I'm gonna let these guys get out of here. We've had a good live stream tonight. I want to thank my moderators. I know Susan had to take off. She had a family engagement that she had to go to. Donut and JT, thanks for picking up Susan's slack tonight. To my blushing bride Dana and my daughter Isabella, they are out in a hotel room right now watching. I want to say hi to them, and thank you guys for helping me cut all the firewood today.
Yeah,
holy smokes,
that's some fun stuff. I want to say hi to Mama and Little Bear, and you know who I'm talking to right now.
Mama and Little
Bear sitting over there with Chad. I know they're watching.
Little man, not Little Bear, Little Man.
I call him Little Bear.
Okay, I call him Little Man. Chad calls him Little Man.
I know, I don't.
Mom calls him Little Man. You call him Little Bear?
I call him Little Bear because I like bears.
Okay. You are what you eat.
There you go.
I like pussy. All right, guys, that's all we got tonight. Parting words of wisdom.
Don't do stupid things.
Don't do stupid things. All right, how about you, Randy? Parting words. Come on, stick your melon in here. Parting words for the live stream. We've had a good live stream tonight, guys. Parting words from Randy Rawhide West, from West Coast Scenario Survival School.
Put your heart in the right spot. That's what I would say. Start treating yourself good and other people. These guys are my brothers because not only are they good warriors and I can count on them when stuff turns bad, but they have good hearts and they treat people well. And if my party's words would be that, we got to start doing that. Our country needs people to start taking care of each other.
Amen.
They talk about the silent majority, guys. You understand? You're only being silent because you don't want to argue with people. Use tact. Don't argue. But you understand we've got to vote and we've got to talk to all the independents on the fence. And you got to educate people. You got to educate. Biggest problem in the world we have right now is people, they're not learning. They're not learning the stuff that they need to learn in school. They're not. And, everybody wants to praise our educators, praise teachers. That's how I was raised. Thank a soldier for serving his country, but thank an educator. Okay. But right now, all of my educators out there, all of my school teachers, you all have completely let me down. Completely let me down. This woke bullshit has got to stop, and it's got to stop in schools. Because you are screwing up this beautiful country. All right, that's all I got for tonight. Emery, last words? No?
Yep. I just want to second Randy's words. That was all the words.
There we go. All right, guys. We will see you next time. Y'all take care and shoot straight.